So you're the owner of the Whalers?
Yes, I am.
Yep. So your job mostly is just running the bar, taking care of the place,
Yeah,
keeping
it's
up
like
the
a
bar.
managerial position, but you have to be able to do everything within the space, within the building. So basically, other than the licensed part of the bar, I also do the kitchen. I also do the bar. But I also have to clean the washrooms and clean all the floors.
So you're a one-man show.
So you're a one-man show unless you have somebody else who's working to help you do it.
Nice. And you also have the music thing on the side.
Yeah, well, the music thing on the side was always a hobby for me because from I was a kid, I always loved music, and music suits the world, brings everybody together, right?
Yeah.
Like Bob Marley said, one love, one aim, one destiny, and also roots rock reggae. So I love all kind of music, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what came first, the Whalers or the music?
Well, actually, the Wailers was always going to be there. It was always an inspiration for me, but the music brought me to the Wailers.
Okay.
And once I started playing on my own, and I did a lot of stuff, and a lot of my stuff was I played for a lot of people. My beginning was playing for like my parents' friends and a lot of people, so I got my parents' collections until I got very popular playing, and I did a lot of underground gigs, but my dream was always to have my own business.
Nice. And now you have live music every week or every couple days.
Yeah, we do have live music every week, but the only problem is not fully established in a music zone. It's like a restaurant and bar, so it's not like full time where you can play like banging music or have so many people coming in or have so many artists coming in because you're within the community, so you have to kind of play on like on a normal level. But my aim was always to have like a straight big music club or a big venue where you can have acts coming anywhere from the world where they can perform or have an alliance to be able to get something like that. Because basically, even owning a restaurant like this small, this was like a jump off for me to get somewhere bigger.
Yeah.
But yet still at the Whalers, we still do our rehearsal here, we still keep our meetings here. And if we get a bigger location, we will go, but otherwise we still do our stuff here.
Nice. And how is that different from the music scene that you started out in playing?
Well, the music scene I started out and playing back in the days was everybody was about music. Everybody came out, everybody had a good time. But nowadays, everybody is like a little bit more divided, a little bit more skeptical.
It's a little bit more about the business behind it.
Yeah, it's more about the business, but the music is what keeps everybody together and keeps it going.
Yeah.
Because if you play good music, then everybody's going to come. For instance, I'm called the Wailers.
Yeah.
But other than Bob Marley, my favorite band is rock and roll. Led Zeppelin, AC/DC, Beatles, Rolling Stones. So you can't just stick to one genre. And also, like if you have a bar and the owner of a bar, you have to know what your customers like. So you have to be able to please your customer. That means you have to go as far as maybe even country and western, maybe jazz, maybe blues, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But your own personal preferences back in the day would be like Bob Marley, like you said, Led Zeppelin. Those were like your early influences before you started expanding your horizons.
Yeah, but these are all guys in the top. So you basically being a DJ and getting it, your collection has to be guys in the top 100. So you always listen to your radios or you always watch your charts.
Yeah.
And you always try to get those records that are within the top 100. So whenever you play those records or internationally, all your fans know them. Mm-hmm. So it's easier if you play a record, and when you play a record, everybody's at the dance and they can sing along like staying alive, yeah, 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 right?
Yeah.
So it's easier when you play records that everybody knows or it's compatible. Because you're trying to put so many different people together, but everybody still knows that song. One love, one heart, let's get together and feel alright. Right?
Yeah. So, running the Whalers, playing music, did you have any specific role models while you were like balancing the two, or like up until this point?
Oh yeah, well actually, I worked all my life. I worked at Kodak. I'm a lab technician. So the music was like basically the driving force. It couldn't pay me at the time, so most musicians have to have a day job.
Yeah.
If you're not a professional, you have to have something during the day. And then once you have something during the night and you're good enough, that's where you can buy more records, you can buy more equipment. Because the day job can't help you afford.
Yeah.
So for instance, let's say I played at a club and a guy's willing to give me, let's say, $200 for, let's say, 4 hours. It's just a part-time gig.
Yeah.
Right? And let's say I'm playing at the gig and all of a sudden, you know, big things happen. So he sells a lot of beers, everybody likes to following, then he's giving me like a bonus.
Yeah.
Like, Greg, here's $100, here's a bonus, here's this, here's that. You know what I mean? So a lot of time, you know, you're playing for peanuts until you meet the right guy.
Yeah.
But other than that is everybody tries to cheat a musician. And also, musicians don't get paid by their value unless you have a big following.
Yeah. You need the crowd to
yeah,
draw the
I
money.
mean, like, with me being a little bit popular, I had a pretty good following in the neighborhood. So normally, if you're a DJ, you have to have a lot of girls that are going to like you. And once the girls are there, then the guys will come and spend. So wherever you went, you have a nice following, so you always got paid.
Mm-hmm. So as a child, did you dream about like all this back in the day, or would you say it slowly evolved to the point where you said, I want to own a business, I want to play the music on the side, and I want to balance the two?
I dreamed about it. Yeah, I did dream about it, and it slowly evolved. But if I had more help, I would have. If I was more of a believer in myself, because my collection is very great, and I still have all my sound system. But the only problem is, you have to have a team.
Yeah.
You have to have a structure. And then basically, when I was on top of my game now, the kids that I had were from, you know, disadvantaged. They needed help. They never grew with no mothers and fathers. So basically, after a few of them got in trouble, and let's say they got deported back home where they came from, I kind of slowed down a little bit. Okay. Like, I still had the love for it, but I love those kids when they're around me, because you have to have, when you're working as a team, you have to have people that's trustworthy. Yeah. And also, you're making money. You're the boss, so you have to pay them. And once they're getting paid, everybody's good. But once they get into problem, and then you start losing your team that's solid, you got to pick new guys, and new guys ain't solid like your old team.
It's all give and take, right?
Yeah, it's all give and take. Win and lose, you know? But if you, the greatest thing is having a good team.
Yeah.
If you can have like 4 guys around you, it's like a family. You sit, you talk it over. Then, you know what I mean? Everybody
contributes.
If everybody can contribute more than one guy. I was a main contributor.
Yeah.
Later on, I had guys who were devoted to me, because they saw that we were going places. So as long as you have guys who are on the same level as you, same team, you know?
Okay. Yeah. So there's a certain amount of like ethics you had behind everything. Like, everyone needed to put in their work. Everybody needed to contribute.
Yeah, well, everybody had to put in your work, because if you're not a good DJ, you're not going to play.
Yeah.
Or if I give you a contract, well, I got so good one time I could have played 3 clubs in one night. I used to do that and just drive around, check each DJs. But after a while, like I said, the teamwork has to, everybody be watching the other guy. What are you doing? What's this guy doing? What's that guy doing? So basically, you know, you'd have to pick the best guys, and sometimes you have to take sides.
Yeah.
So you have to hire and fire. Right?
Yeah.
Right? It's just like having a band. If the drummer thinks he's got an ego, then everybody can be replaced.
Yeah.
Because he's going to tell you, I'm the whole band. I don't need you guys need me. So I'm the guy that used to tell him, okay, if we don't need you and we need you and you don't need us, then I'll tell you what, you better go your way, let us replace you with somebody else, no long argument. But we always seem to go better when we get rid of that asshole, right? Sorry about that.
Yeah. No, it's all right. So you got to keep the group chemistry going.
Yeah, I got to keep one guy will mutiny the ship.
Yeah.
So if you know that guy's going to mutiny the ship, then you got to, you know, get rid of him before, you know, mutiny happens.
Yeah. What was the biggest gig you ever played?
Oh, well, the biggest gig I ever played in my life was Luciano Sisla and Mikey General. That was Sunday, October 12, 1997. Because this guy was almost like, first time he came to Canada.
Yeah.
So everybody went crazy because Sisla was almost like a Bob Marley. So when he came out, and it was the second biggest club in Ontario, I think it was called Kaboom, somewhere on Bramsteel in Brampton. When I walked in that club, I was amazed. It was so big. And it was a great show. Yeah, Sizzla, Luciano, Mikey Genoa. Yeah.
Nice. So,
hold on, give me 1 second.
It's all right.
Let me just
I'll pause it. So, while you were running everything and basically keeping everyone in line, did you ever have like a mentor or like a teacher that helped you, like guide you down a certain path, or like give you an idea of like how to do things?
Yeah, I had a lot of older guys that mentored me. My stepfather, he was the guy that had all the equipment at first, and he had all the antique records. But my real teacher was my stepfather's best friend, Uncle Les. But my real mentor was my mother. She was always into music, so I'm Gregory, so she named me after an artist called Gregory Isaacs. So I grew up in a musically inclined family, and every Sunday my mom played music, and lots of my greatest collections that I have now is from my mom and my dad.
Nice.
And I still have them all. Yeah.
So your mom's still a part of the picture? Is she still like cheering you on or like supporting you through it all?
My mom's always, she's like my boss, you know what I mean? So if I ever need anything in life, money, anything from equipment to start to, you know, anything that has to do with music, and I'm in it, she's always behind, you know? So
she'll always support you.
Yeah. She supports us because we've been keeping like a little barbecue at our house for maybe, I'd say 27 to 30 years, and we've been keeping it 30 years straight.
Nice.
And my mom's always the one behind it, and I supply the music, she cooks all the food. So we're basically a team.
Yeah.
Even here at the Whalers, my partner's my mother.
Awesome. Would you consider what you do now a job, or would you say it's more something that you love and it's like a pastime that you get paid for?
No, it's a job, and anything that you do which is a pastime and you're spending a lot of hours in it, you have to get paid.
Mm-hmm.
Because at first you do so much practice without getting paid that after a while, if you ever, like, I'll do a small gig, and then at the same time I'll do a big gig. Because I get people will come to me and say, look, G, I'm getting married and you're my DJ, I want you to play, so I'm going to pay you to play, and that might be a few $100s. And then I get somebody who just wants a little barbecue for their summer back, but they have people coming from out of town, they want to impress with the music, so, you know, I'll play for small money, but I'll get paid with bonuses. You know,
so you're always on a lookout for both types of jobs, basically.
You're on a lookout, yeah, and every dollar is a muckle, but you know, you want to get paid.
Yeah.
So basically, if you go out and you're doing something and you're spending more than 4 hours, you know, you're always looking for a donation.
Yeah.
Because most musicians, you know, they make the game so bad, so many people doing it for free.
It brings everyone else down.
Yeah, so you're a professional now. You're always looking to get paid.
Mm-hmm. So do you have like a certain brand image that's associated with you, or like a certain crowd that you always are able to generate?
Yeah, well, my crowd basically is the older crowd, because when you play for the older people, they drink.
Yeah.
And if they're having a good time, they have a good time. There's never no problems. And you get to play like genre of music that a lot of people don't like, which is what makes a party, because you're not playing like a radio station, because they like your style, because you're an underground DJ.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, you know, we're not playing what everybody plays. You play what everybody likes, but like I said,
you play to the crowd.
You play for the crowd. You can't play for yourself as a DJ.
Yeah.
Because, like I said, if you're playing new music and nobody don't know the word, then they'll be standing around looking at each other. But if you're playing music and everybody knows the word and they're singing together, then it brings the vibes more. You have a better vibe.
Yeah, people remember you and they come back.
Yeah, and then everybody has a great time and they talk about the party. The night, remember that party we went to? Oh, that DJ was awesome. And then somebody keeping a party, they recommend you.
Yeah.
And then the other person recommend you. Sometimes you're such a good DJ, you don't even put your word out there. You don't even have a business card.
It's just word of mouth that spreads.
Word of mouth, and people call you. For instance, I was the underground king. Any house parties in the neighborhood, Or even when they went to other DJs, the DJ's like, look, man, I'm a DJ, I can't handle this. But you got to go find this guy named GT. So once you talk to GT, I'd get the contract, and the same kid who couldn't handle it, I'd bring him in and say, hey, man, I'm going to disrespect you, so here what, man? You know, you're coming into this guy here, my DJ's not around, so let's do it together. So there's a lot of time you can work with people.
Yeah.
Instead of against people.
So while you're working on the job, you're also building connections for future jobs, and maybe down the line you group up with somebody and you work or you collaborate.
As a DJ, my role was we never took a week off, so you always played to impress. And if you're a good enough DJ, you play every gig you do, you should be able to get another gig, because that's how good you are. Just like if you're a good band. And you play, because new people, they're always looking for new people,
Yeah.
So once you're into it, you always put your heart in it. And you try to, like, impress people first. And sometimes, you don't have to give, a lot of times I don't give a guy a price. I let a guy just treat me fair. And then I've been to a lot of gigs where I thought I was going to get underpaid. And they give me an envelope. I'm like, hey, buddy, you gave me too much money. He's like, hey, man, you're worth it. You understand?
Yeah.
Yeah,
so if you do a good job, you're going to get rewarded for it. That's always
well, that's what you're looking for. Because sometimes when you know you do a great job and you don't get rewarded, you kind of feel a little bit down. You got to say, hey, buddy, like, you know.
You shortchanged me here.
You shortchanged me. Or, you know, hey, buddy, if we can't get on a level thing, you're not going to get me again.
Yeah.
And he's going to say, oh, I don't need you, man. I got my fault. I'm like, okay, buddy, no problem. But remember, I'm the DJ.
Mm-hmm.
And then he says, okay, I don't need you. He keeps another gig. And nobody shows they don't make no big money. And then he's got to come back and say, hey, buddy, I need you. And I'm going to say, hey, buddy, here, what you got to do now?
Yeah.
I'm not going to be shortchanged. You got to pay me up front now. This is business now. No more joke shit.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So after a while, you got to be serious.
Yeah, you have to, like, start to become serious.
Yeah, when you see those guys making money.
Yeah, and they're leaving you out of the cut.
Yeah, and as a musician, too, you can't be drunk every night around the music. That's a bad vibe.
Yeah.
You understand?
Mm-hmm.
Some DJs, they got to get totally blasted, or get totally high, but the best DJs are the ones who keep it in moderation. Or I've had some guys who don't drink, period, they don't smoke, period, and you think they partied so hard, but they don't drink. It's just
having the discipline.
Just the music and the vibes, and they'll go crazy too. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
By reaction, you say, hey, what's wrong with this guy? But it's just called the vibes.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
You send them out to the crowd sends them back, and you go back and forth the whole night.
Yeah. So with music, it's not really a thing about getting high, or you can't be so high where you can't remember yourself, or you can't be so drunk where you can't, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And as a DJ now, you have to, you know what I mean?
Yeah, you have to be serious about it.
You can drink a little bit, be in moderation to make yourself nice, to make everybody nice. But if you look like a fool, then, you know, everybody's going to be standing up, or you be DJing, everybody be walking out the door.
Mm-hmm.
And the promoter's saying to you, hey, man, what the fuck's going on? You know, we got a crowd in here, but you can't get them moving. So the hardest thing about a DJ is to get the crowd moving. Right?
Right.
So sometimes that's the hardest part.
Yeah.
You got to just keep going here, trying this, trying that, till finally you hit it. You see 3 girls go out on the dance floor. So you try to concentrate on what those 3 girls are dancing to, and never cut the music short on them. Right?
Yeah.
Never cut it short. You let that music play all the way out. Once they're out there and they're just going crazy, you just you even let them hear when that music's gonna finish before you start the other one. Right?
All right. Yeah.
Yeah, because once you have them, once you have the crowd, then that's what your motivation is. Hello.
Yeah.
Yeah. Go ahead.
It's all right. So, what's the future for yourself, like in the music scene, and for the Wailers?
The future is always bigger and better, brighter, because, you know, now it's worldwide. I got, like, a lot of Japanese students. Mm-hmm. So, like, over the last 15 years, I've been teaching more Japanese kids, so I need to go to Japan myself.
Oh, yeah.
Because they all know my name in Japan. And when they all come to Canada, they all come here to visit. So basically, yeah.
Nice.
And I was in Jamaica the other day and kind of lost a little love, but once I went and touched the island again, it all came back naturally, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nothing but home, sweet home.
Yeah, I went home and I saw and I heard what's going on, but yet still everybody loved the old school.
Mm-hmm.
So, but now it's all old and new getting together.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
All right, and the last thing is, would you say that when you, throughout the whole process, going through the music scene, working here at the bar, would you say like setting goals, meeting them, and stepping them up, constantly pushing yourself forward, was that like a good motivator to keep you going, or was it something like you kind of fell into something and you went that way?
It's like the same way I met your dad, trying to make a deal with your dad. And I saw the buzz sign, and I really wanted the buzz sign. So once he came and showed me the buzz sign, we had to be a partner, because somebody else had what I wanted, and he wanted me for business, and I wanted him for business. So it's like when we met together, he treated me fair and I treated him fair. So basically, I introduced him to other business partners, and he introduced me to other business partners. So when you meet somebody, each hand has to come together. It takes two hands to clap.
Yeah.
Right? So like I'm saying, just like I met Jim a couple of years ago, talking about the buzz, we did the buzz, and here we are. How many years, Jim? 5 years later? 4 years later, we're still good friends.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it has to be a mutual beneficial thing that everyone grows. Everyone grows. Everyone
together.
spreads the love.
Yeah, everybody grows together. You know what I mean? And sometimes even if you go to the market and you don't have the money and you need the goods, Jim will credit me a little bit. He'll give me an edge because he has what I want.
Yeah.
So I'll say, hey, Jim, I'm kind of short on this. I'm kind of short. And then he'll come in. But at the end of the day, I have to pay him to make sure to keep his end of the bargain.
Yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Because being a small business and dealing with bigger businesses, everybody's looking to...
Everyone wants to move up. Everyone wants to expand.
But sometimes, people will give you time to grow, or you might not have... We're a small business, so you might not have the big money, like the big business, but Jim is willing to give me a chance.
Yeah.
So if you can meet people like that in business who are willing to give you a chance, then there's always room to grow.
All right. Cool. Thanks for the interview, man.
All right. No problem, buddy. Thank you so much.